President Joe Biden addressing the nation, and the world as calls to step aside grow louder.
The president asked plainly, should Vice President Kamala Harris run instead?
If your team came back and showed you data that she would fare better against former President Donald Trump, would you reconsider your decision to stay in the race?
No, unless they came back and said, there's no way you can win.
And the president is saying that no one is telling him that, and he still plans to win, he says, in November. Hi, everybody. Maria Stefanos.
And I'm Ed Harding, and the press conference was long. It was not without gaffes, as the American people watched closely to judge not only what the president said, but how the president said it. Our Mary Saladin is live in the newsroom with the breakdown for us, Mayor.
Yeah, and Maria, the president showed his command of foreign policy, but at times his answers rambled. And there was that one very noticeable gaffe. President Biden came out strong, touting a successful NATO conference and alliance and his successes as president.
Just this morning, we had a great economic report showing inflation is down. Working with Mexico, border encounters have gone down over 50%.
But the first question Biden took about whether Vice President Kamala Harris is ready to lead if called upon resulted in a cringeworthy gaffe.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
Biden has long been known for his gaffes, but post-debate, they're now being viewed through the prism of his age. Tonight, Biden dismissed his debate performance as a mistake due to his hectic schedule and said voters should look to his track record as president.
The best way to assure them is the way I assure myself, and that is, am I getting the job done? Am I getting the job done? Can you name me somebody who's gotten more major piece of legislation passed in 3.5 years?
Coming into tonight's news conference, a new ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll shows 2/3 of Americans, 67%, say Biden should step aside as the nominee following his debate performance. 85% said Biden is too old for a second term. But that same poll shows Biden continues to run neck and neck with Donald Trump if the election were held today. If Vice President Harris were to replace Biden as the nominee, that poll shows Harris with a slight statistical lead over Trump. Now, following the news conference, Donald Trump took to social media and mocked Biden for his Vice President Trump gaffe, saying, "Great job, Joe." Biden fired back. "By the way, yes, I know the difference. One's a prosecutor, the other's a felon." Well, tonight, several lawmakers are praising Biden's performance, but two more House Democrats have called on Biden to withdraw.